telling you my history, how I got married, why I got married at a very young age, and what was my reason to and be divorced. Yeah, so yeah, guys. But it's kind of chilly here. I'm just gonna put on gown, guys. Please forgive me. Between the that time we were told not to date up until the 21 years, we were not allowed to date at all. Not kissing guys, no hugging guys, no friends with guys too. So fine. So we were still young, so sasingayiboni uba inzima. Sathi kubazali bethu, okay, deal. We don't mind, we don't care, okay, fine. We'll do what you are telling us to do. So sorry guys. My sister is distracting me. She's twerking while I'm talking. Anyway, so when we hit high school, that's where it started to be like, yo, I'm thinking of breaking the promise we had with Abazal, because I had this high school sweetheart. Yo, I really love that guy from grade 8 till the last year of my matric years, which is grade 12. But Kuba, I respected my parents, and I was that girl who always stayed on the rules. I only dated him for like almost a year, no, 6 months, I think so. And then I was like, no, I have to stop this because my parents found out about this, and dabethwa, guys, like dabethwa ingathi I'm a virgin, ingathi ndiyatshaya or something. So I told myself, okay, fine, I will never ever date again. Fine. It was so hard because whenever I see him at school, I was like, here goes my love of my life. But yonke loo nto I managed ndathi ndaphuma high school ndiyi-virgin, ndingadeyithanga naye oko ndandihlukene naye from kwi-first year yam high school, which is grade 8. Fine. Then I did matric on the 2016 year of 2016. That was my matric year. So in 2017, early 2017, I went to this church where a friend of my father, he's an evangelist. He sees unseen things. If like you want to know about your life, he can tell you everything. Like now abantu banjalo, yabona. Akalogqirha or something, ngumfundisi, pure pastor, but it's just is gifted by God to see the unseen. Yep. And to pray upon you with whatever things that are on top of your life, which are dark or bad, to zisuke ebomini bakho yabo kanjalo. How we went to this church. Then I won't say his name. Then he called four of us, me and my sister. He called us, and then he said we are all going to get married in the same year. And then fine, it was 2017, early 2017. I think it was January or mid-January. Yeah, it was mid-January 2017. So we were like, we're not dating. So who are you talking about? How are we going to get married because we're not dating? Last born and I says our matric, and then ndanononyaka we-gap here ndihleli endlini because I was lazy. Xa was high school, you become lazy to apply. Bakhona bangabikho lazy to apply for the following year kuba begqiba high school, but mina ndayile type yomntu uba it's my matric here, I only focus on my marks and then that's it. So 2017 was my gap year. So I was like, uzavela phi lo mntu? And then sister before mna, she was in her third year ever sit. And even though she was ever sit, she was also single. I-firstborn yona, no, not i-firstborn, i-secondborn. Or i-firstborn emantombazaneni, yena she was dating her high school, her college sweetheart. Yeah. But again, I think yena wayinalani uba maybe her boyfriend will marry her, I don't know. But we three, sasina like, how are we going to get married but not dating, yabo? So, but anyway, mid-June 2017, early June 2017, here comes this guy. I grew up with him. We were like brothers. Brothers. That's how close he was. Sometimes he used to sleep at my place, my parents' place. And yeah. So he became so close to my father. In a way, he was my father's assistant. So that was before my father was a pastor. Then back then, my father was a youth leader. So Lumfana,
Onto the end.
oh, this guy, as by ilandu zakam assistant at the time. Like why assistant at the time kanje, ne? My father was a youth leader back then. Before abe le title akuyo ngoku. My youth leader. So uba mhlawumbi kubizwa i-youth leaders. You know? He always took this guy with. And um he even drove for my father. My father has his own car. But at that time, he would like avail himself. This guy also had his own car, so he would avail himself, and he used to call my father daddy. Daddy, can I drive for you to this place? And yeah, when he had meetings, he used to write it down, like you know what personal assistant does. Yeah, so that's how he was. That's why most of the time he spent nights at home because he was so close with my father, and yeah. So so he came go June 2017. Fine. Mid end of June. Yeah, he noticed me on my birthday. So I was born on the 23rd of June. On my birthday, at home we went to Ulwandle. We love Ulwandle High. We feel like nature and beach are the closest things to to go to when you want to be connected with the Holy Ghost, Jesus Christ, and God. You see, so now I love praying. So I was like, on my birthday, I want to spend my day by going to. It's either I'm going to a gardens or ke lantos, ke Elwandle. So my parents were like, okay, let's go to Elwandle because we all love Elwandle. Yeah. So when we went there, um, he was also there. So I was like cute in my outfit. I'll check on my pictures if I do have a picture to put aside. Yeah, but whatever I'm saying right now, I'm gonna put it somewhere on my screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Fine. So I was so cute. I was so beautiful. I was like beautiful, guys. Yeah. It was yeah. So no, so on the 2017, I was 21, meaning I got married when I was 21, not 20. Sorry, guys, let me correct myself. So, um, my parents didn't organize a big party. They just took me to Elwandle and I spoke to God, have few prayer um session with God, Elwandle, and then I went home, changed my outfit, and then we went to this restaurant. I don't remember the name of the restaurant, but it was also here in Cape Town, I think in Claremont. So yo, I sana because it was my birthday, so I had to have a crown, a nice dress with my heels on. Fine. So he started noticing me. Well, actually, I started noticing him on that day because he used to say, Aindwana, Dase means my sister in Christ. So suddenly he was like looking at me with a different look as like he sees a woman. And I was like feeling uncomfortable, but brothers and sisters, what are you doing? Opening doors for me. So I was like, okay, no man, he's just doing this because it's my birthday, so I have to feel special. Fine. I understand. So time went by. Now so it was time for ilanduza ukugoduka. So xa as umuntu wephathi, you have to hug every person who's there. Okanye ume phambi kwabantu and say, guys, thank you for coming, blah blah blah. You see. So I'm very shy, so shy. So zange ndenze speech mna so much. But when you guys album, I said, thank you, Mama Dada, and thank you all for coming. And then I cried. That's all because I was so shy. I didn't know what to say. So now it's time to go home. And then I went home before people went home on that restaurant that we were. We had a very huge big table, and then every loved ones were invited were sitting there. So um they when it was time for me to go home, they waited for me outside. And so as I was going out with my parents, I was hugging people. Bye, thank you for coming, blah blah blah, and so forth. Now it's time for him. It's his time for like ndiyagqitha kwabanye ndiyofika kuye. Now he was shy to hug me. I was like, bro, what's going on? No, we'll talk later. And I was like, it's past 11 at night. What do you mean we'll talk later? It's almost midnight, and then obviously I won't go out. I want to go home. What do you mean we'll talk later? But he just smiled and smiled with a nervous look. So I was like, okay, this dude is always acting strange, but okay, fine. I was like, okay, let me put it behind my back. Fine. Now, on my on the 31st of July, I remember it was 31st of July, he proposed to me like this way. So my parents, I don't know where my sister were, but my parents left church and went somewhere with the house key. So now I was behind a church like the golela instrument was the kind way before abazali bami they were pastors. The instrument stayed ekhaya. Yonke into yenkonzo yayihlala ekhaya. Sasingahlali secaweni because sasingenayo i-caretaker to take care of izinto zenkonzo. So like into zenkonzo azikwazi hlala enkonzo engakho caretaker because what if ungakho i-break in, i-bass bin, yonke loo nto zibiwe yabo. So every after church, me and my sisters and some guys from Nkonzo Youth, we used to quickly pack things and put in my father's car. My father had a bakkie that time, a big one. So my parents had to go home early that day. They had to leave church early that day. I don't know where they were going. So I stayed behind packing instrument. So I was told that the instrument will go to this guy's car. This guy who I was married to. So I can say, okay, Mama, today it's fine. I don't mind. Not knowing that my sisters, as I told you, my sisters were naughty more than I am. So they had plans on that day. They helped me pack things, everything. And then when it was about time to go, they took another car, which was youth, so there were cars, like different cars in Conzo. So they took another car. They knew that they had plans, and they knew that since I live my life like this, they know that instrument is safe with me. I won't do nothing that will make it like in the last instrument or something. So all three of them they went with their car and left. So on our way, I was like, dude, where are my sisters? And then he smiled because I think apparently my sisters, sorry, told him that they're going somewhere, and then he must not tell me. So he smiled. I said, "Oh, so you know we are my sisters?" Oh, and then he said, "Maybe, maybe not." Okay, fine. So when we arrived at my place, we noticed that the keys are at my parents. So I called my parents. Mama noted, where are the keys? They said, "Oh, here the keys are with us. So wait for us. We'll be there within an hour time." So he told me, okay, fine, how about to go and wait for your parents at my place? So I was like, no, because I can't stay at his place because he's been acting weird towards me. So I won't feel comfortable, obviously, being with him in his place. So I said, no, let's go to Elwandle. So he was like, on our way to Elwandle, I asked me, aren't you hungry? I said, yeah, I love eating Gemnaki. One thing about me, oh, eating. I love eating. Mm. So we went to KFC. He bought me straight rice, two chips. Yeah, that was his first meal for me. I know, guys, but yeah, I love street rice too. I used to love street rice two chips. Yeah, that used to be my favorite. So he bought me that, and then sayalwana, and then we ate our KFC with a Fanta. So he asked, as we were sitting there watching Ilwandle, Ulwandle is a very romantic thing, guys. Don't go there no one dating naye, otherwise you guys will end up together. But Tina, we did that and we ended up together. Fine. Oh, we went to a random and chit chat while inside the car. So he said, as we were talking, Sanil, what would you say if I would propose to you? I said, propose. I laughed. No, man, what are you talking about? I laughed, yeah. Oh, when I look at him, I go, this guy is serious. I said, wait, dude, I seriously said yes. I said, no, first of all, not my type. Second of all, there's no way that we, me and you, that are dating ever. Then he said, no, I don't mean date. I mean you as my wife. I said, bro, I'm still young. What do you mean? He said, when you're 21 doesn't mean that you're young. So I'm not because I was not interested in him. I said, no, go to my parents. Because my father is a very strict person. He is so strict. So my father is strict and my mother will always follow what I want. Like my mom akayiyo uthi ba who decide for you. Uthi Zanela, what do you want? And then support what you want. So I was like, this guy is wasting his time. Oh, fine. Oh, he went to my parents same day. And I didn't know he went to tell my parents this. I thought he's like he liked to speak with my parents just like for chat things or what is happening around. Kanti no mfana uyocela umshado. So my parents told him that, hey, Uzanele, there are three guys who want to marry her. You know, the first one. And are you capable of taking care of Uzanele because she's a spoiled brat. Whatever she wants, she gets, and she gets hurt so quick. And that's me, guys. Fine. So he said yes. No. parents said, okay, if you're sure about what you want to do, it's fine by us, but you'll have to speak to Zanele. And then he said, I spoke to Zanele already. Now it's like that. I agreed already, but I didn't agree anything. I just said, go to my parents, because I knew that my parents will say no. Not knowing that my parents, since they didn't want me to date, they didn't want me to be friends with male guys. They will obviously say yes, because this is a marriage thing. It's a very good thing. There's no parent that will say no to a man proposing to her daughter or his daughter. You see, because marriage is a very blessed, beautiful thing that was done by God. Ever. So I didn't think of that. I was like, my parents will say no, blah, blah. And no, I was wrong, because this time around it's a marriage thing. It's not a dating thing. Yeah. So 2 days later, my parents came to me and told me, okay, Kizanele, this guy came to you. You came to us and said this and that. And guess what? We said yes to him. So I was like, I want mama no dada. Why did you say yes? I don't want that guy. He's not my type. He's short. He's dark complexion. Like he's super dark complexion. And you are mama nimfunda. He's like, like none of needs. My parents said, you like his sister, yes. And say Kobile nginkomo eziyi-2. Hey, I'm okay. Yeah, and as well, I'm a virgin, so I'm expensive. Uma ke akazozigqiba inkomo and ndithetha makazovuma ndiphume ngala mnyango ndithi ndiyotshatwa iinkomo ezithile athi uyazifuna zingaphelelanga. Fine. Ndathi okay mama tata. Ndaba respected because I was not dating. There was no one that I knew at that time that wants to marry me. Fine. So he stayed back for 2 weeks without being like, we didn't see him. I think he was doing his gig to make money. Then 2 weeks later, boom, he came with Inkom. Was he came before with Inkom as 2, and then he came again go Inkom as 7. So meaning 7 plus 2, 9 cows. He didn't bring Inkom like ngamanqina. He came with imali. Apha eKapa awuzinayo nankomo zamamanqina. Uza nemali. So mhlawumbe kuthiwa inkomo eyi-1, let's say kuthiwa inkomo eyi-1 yi-10,000 or 15,000 or 7,000. So kuthiwa inkomo eyi-1 yiloo kanjalo. So that's how ilobola is being paid up eKapa. It's not like Eastern Cape, where Eastern Cape kufuneka kubekho inkomo kubekho nemali. It's not that strict here. So after ezise inkomo zakhe ezi-7 phezu kwalaa 2 ezisekuqala, my parents didn't send me away packing and go to him, to his house, because they were like, oh my child, we still love her here with us. No, she won't manage to be at that place. Kodwa sebezithathile inkomo, yabo. So this guy, a week later, he came with his uncles, his father, stepfather, to take me, because they were like, we paid the ball, what's going on, we want our wife. So okay, fine. It was so emotional. I was crying as if I'm going to die. Yo, I think none better with, but ndahamba ke abanye bayacelebrate, yeah, ndahamba ke ndaya e-UK. So kulapho nandodele khona, guys. I-UK, it's in Eastern Cape. It's a small village in Eastern Cape. Ake napha ke ndokwaziswa, babhiliva ke izinyanya ke kulaa family. Bazisa izinyanya zabo. I had to follow their protocol. Even though I'm a Christian, in my family we don't believe in doing izinto zabantu passed away, like ancestors. We don't believe that. We believe that ancestors are sleeping for, like, in peace. They will never come and visit you while they're sleeping. It's only angels who comes. Angel from God, emazulwini, from heaven, not utamkhulu or something. We believe so. I'm not judging people who believe so. Like I'm saying, in my family, we believe like that. Yabo, ninifika kahle, ningalunami, guys. So believe in different thing, yabo. So my belief is like that. So Bona, they believe that when you bring someone in the family, you have to speak to your cocos, buy brand and so forth. Yabo. So they did that ceremony. They did that, and then the following day I was given ikiti umakoti. Yeah. So I was there in Eastern Cape for like 2 weeks, and that 2 weeks I don't wanna lie, it was kind of fun, but not fun. The reason why it was kind of fun, the side that it was fun is that I'm a person who love adventure. I'm a very adventurous person. I like to explore. I like meeting people. I like to learning different things. You see, Disakula, I used to say I want to marry a different um, culture, a guy from a different culture, not a Xhosa man, because I want to learn something different because I already know my culture. You see. So I was like, this is so exciting. Oh, so people who believe in ancestors, they do this. So, okay, so this is how you do umqombothi. Umqombothi is an African alcohol. So I was like, oh, wow. Okay, so this is how you do this. So, yeah. Also, it was interesting for me. But the part that wasn't interesting for me in that 2 weeks, the guy that I got married with, I would only see him in the morning. And sit in the morning around 6, where I woke up. I used to wake up at 4 a.m. do breakfast for my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, and my ex-husband, and anyone who's there. And then I go back to my bedroom, take a quick bath, wear clean clothes, and put impahla zika-ex-husband ebhedini, like ayazi uba xa ephuma ebhafini nazi impahla zonxiba, nansi ibreakfast yakhe ahambe. So ndandimbona ngaloo maxesha qha. And then after that, like after 8 in the morning, he's gone. Gone with who? With his friends, which his friends were not married at that time. One thing I know, when you're married, be friends with people who are married so you guys can think marriage wise. Because if you are friends with people who are not married, meaning you're gonna be naughty, you're gonna do what they are doing because they are not married, and you are under in peer pressure. You see, because you're alone hanging by two, and then majority is not married. So he used to go with his friends, cousins who were not married at that time, and then come back home at night and go 9 drunk. So that part made my 2 weeks horrible because I'm like, I didn't marry you, Usalam. I knew that when we were very young, he used to smoke and drink. But after a certain age in high school, he stopped everything. Now, suddenly, we instant keep in his place, he's drinking, even smoking. I was like, okay, I don't know this guy. I'm not just into this guy. But okay, it's fine. So yeah. So and yeah, so 2 weeks yaphela ke, guys. It was so fun to be with my god. It is so fun. Remember badala, ask you questions, bakunxibe so beautiful, abanye bakubless, abanye bakuhle, but akazolasta kulo mtshato. No, people, umakoti obukeleyo this will know what I'm saying. Yabo, fine ke. So a month after sibuyile ezilalini, now we are 6 weeks chatting, and we got married in an African way, not in a white way where you go to a court, sign in the papers. No, we were married in an African way where you pay lobola, and then they take you, your husband and family, they take you to their house and unxibisa makoti and do cultural way. Yeah, that's how I was. That's how my marriage was. So according to Papa Zulu, Home Affairs, they always knew that I was single because I didn't go a court and sign. Fine. So 6 weeks after we are together, married, which is 4 weeks after we came from Israel, he started to change. And that was when I noticed that I am pregnant. So I was like, hey, this guy is changing. He's smoking more often. He drinks more often. He doesn't answer his calls when I'm calling him at certain time. He blue ticks my messages. Um, he always put his phone face down when we're together. And then like doing office things, man. That in a way, as a woman would say, "Oh, this guy is cheating on me." Like, is he cheating on me? But since I had no experience in marriage and so forth, I was like, maybe no, maybe he's stressing because this guy was even on no takes, so he had no takes as such, but doing no takes because he had taxis, advances, and small cars. So even a rinkish like I go to um a station, but he was doing like a long distance trips, stuff, along the people from work, and yet quite few drivers under his name. So yeah, so I was like maybe his business is stressing him or something because one of the drivers the other day had a car accident twice with his car. So I was like, okay, maybe it's hectic. So he's being a man. He doesn't want to tell me everything what's going on in his life. Yeah, but can't you know the guy is cheating? He's back with his baby mama. How I noticed that, oh baby mama wakhe came to where we were sitting, staying. So sasihlala kokwabo abekapa. Hlala kwabo ebheke eflatini. So she came and she was like, oh, I heard that Uban Ban, calling my ex-husband's name, that is married. Who is this woman? Is she more than pretty than me? She didn't know that I was in the house in the backyard. She thought that I'm not somewhere there. So she was speaking to um, my mother-in-law sister. So I was like, hey, I wonder who is this girl? She has a nerve to come here. But I didn't want to go there because I was pregnant. When I was pregnant, I was so scared. Naturally, I'm not a scared person. But at that time, when I was pregnant, I was quiet. I was scared. I was minding my own business. I used to stay inside my room, sleep the whole day. I was lazy when I was pregnant. I was like, hey, with this girl. And said, okay, fine, it's fine. Let me ignore everything. Like it. And then it came, she came, this girl to Landlaku. But you, this guy must answer my calls because the other day he came to my house at night, blah, blah, blah. I was like, hey, boo, are they dating? What about me? Hello? So, okay, I was like, okay, I'm going to ask my ex-husband on his back what's going on. So, I guess I was wrong because this all abuse thing started when I asked him, babe, we need to talk. And he knew when I said we need to talk, we need to talk. So, like, Alanjalo, baby, we need to talk. And he was like, talk. Am I in trouble? I said, I don't know, maybe. And then he said, no, I don't want to talk to you. So I said, we really need to talk because this is getting worse. He said, what's wrong? I told him that your baby mama came here 2 times and she was saying this and that, but she didn't know that I was inside the yard. And then he said, so you believe that I'm dating him? I'm dating him. I said, huh. So I said, no, I don't believe so. That's why I'm asking you because she came twice, meaning there is something. Maybe you guys are friends or I don't know what's going on. He started to be angry. Went outside the house without saying anything. He came back after an hour, drunk, talking up loud, and fine. I said, okay, I am sorry, my husband. So I took ukutya endandikwenzile and I gave him with ilantuza a-tray. He said, Aibo, how can you give me like this? You have to kneel down when you're giving me food and your face must face down. So fine, I did so. I knelt down, facing my face down, and then I gave him ukutya with a tray. And then he said, what is this? I said, it's food, baby. What do you mean? He said, no, I mean, what is this? I'm not gonna eat this cock food. Sorry guys. I'm not gonna eat this food. Swearing at me in close. I was like, what do you mean this is food? And then I took ukutya isandla sam. I didn't even take ikebe because I was like, he's angry. I don't know, maybe he thinks that they poison meal or something. I don't know why we were alone. So I tatha ukutya ngesandla sam with my hair. I took ukutya and then I put it in my mouth to show him this is I didn't poison you. Took a piece of rice, meat, gravy, veg, and so on. He was like, no, I don't want this. I can't eat this. Do you expect me to eat this? And then he threw my food. He wanted to throw it on me, but I quickly hid, and then the plate fell aside, and then it broke, and the food was all over the place. So he said, I can't eat this. And the heater was on. And then he said, what kind of woman are you? What kind of wife are you? How come you don't know how to cook for your husband? I was like, this guy, before we got married, he said he loved my food, he loved my cooking. Suddenly now he's acting like this. Yo. So he took a heater. Then I heater a paraffin in English. I forgot a heater a paraffin, guys, but a heater that we had it at that time. He kicked it and then it fell on its side on the floor. So the paraffin of the heater was coming out. I was like, no, baby, look what you have done. And he pushed me with his back. Leave me alone. Pushed me a bedding. And then, and then he smacked me here. I was like, I said, who are you? I don't know you. That is when I was started to mistreat her, guys, on my marriage. He used to beat me almost every day, and then he used to not sleep at our place for like 2 weeks. Afike endlini ngohlamba and then leave. Angatyi kutya, afike uhlamba tshintshe impahla and leave. Thatha kanjalo. Okanye if uzile, I think mhlawumbi axabene naloo girlfriend yakhe, alale emotweni egaraji, angangeni endlini aqolale egaraji. Simuncisa indini, andini ndayazi uba ezaa zinto ezixakatho, laa nto bhinqa, it has meanings. Ifasko, into nondrogo, those things have meanings that ixakatho ugquma amahlazo senzini and everything. So nalaa cashmere, it all has reasons, and you don't just wear those things, you have to live according to EZA rules, even if so gqithile kwi-stage of wearing that outfit. So I was like, I'm not going to tell my parents, but I'm scared. Ndamoyika le guy. Yeah. And if I told my brother, John, my brother would call his friends and he'd be like, dude, what are you doing with my younger sister? Or can you tell my brother, my father? My father, my father is a very strict person. He would come now and take his daughter and show this guy who is made of. Like when's one? But I was like, no guys, I don't want to do this. I have fallen in love with this guy because he's my virgin breaker. He's my not first boyfriend, but second boyfriend. And yeah, so I don't want anything to hurt him, even though he was doing this to me. So fine, I leave the garage. Mind you guys, I am pregnant. He leaves me endlini. Engatekanga ehambe nezitixo. Tell me, how am I going to sleep with indlu engatekwanga? So nandisithi ndilala ndisothuka because the neighborhood of that place where it wasn't safe. Fine. Ndilantuza ke ndava ke uba okay, I think imoto yakhe le ingene egaraji. Namlindela a few minutes uba abetshova ndicela uzongena, akangena sangafana. Thatha itya Umuntu pregnant, guys, akaphuma ebusuku. We all know that. Akaphuma ebusuku for the safety of umntana. But mina ndaphuma because I was like, this is my husband, I have to be strong. I have to stand firm for my marriage. So ndityale mna kabawo yombatha. Ndabhinqa lapha esinqeni uba isisu sam because I was pregnant. Umntana ubeshushu ndaphuma egaraji. We come yabana apha and got net. He just looked at me and kept on playing with his phone. The car was locked. The windows was up. He didn't even bother to first or open the door and listen what I want to say. He just looked at me and continued chatting with that person. So I was like, okay, fine. Maybe because I believe years ago people used to stay and last emtshatweni bebethwa, and then years later right bangolove it. So okay, maybe umtshato nje miyake mna ke yonke loo nto fine. So when I was he kept continue hitting me, shouting me, mhlawumbi ucakiswe yinto estafini okanye emsebenzini, fike endlini mna ndiyikhawula xa benomsindo mhlawumbi ndithi molo baby benomsindo, how can you do molo awundibona xa ndinomsindo. No, he always find a thing to fight with me ngayo. And then if ndamphendula uba noba ndimphendula wrong uba like I'm answering his question, he'll hit me rhuqo pants andithuke. And ii-neighbours zaziyazi uba okay, these young couples, they like to fight. So the other day now, I was 5 months and 3 weeks. Yeah. I noticed that my feet were swollen and I like to have a back pain, on my back, and then the child doesn't kick every day. My baby wasn't kicking in the morning. He was kicking during the day, and then during the day and night. But in the morning, my baby would not kick. Meaning, during the morning, that's where I used to see this guy that I was married to. He used to come in the morning, we'll take a bath, change clothes, and leave. And then during the day and night, I'm alone with indlu ngathixwayo. Nesizithixo umntu nazo anoba wazilahla but still noba wazilahla mela wathenga ilantuza into tixa so that ayazi uba unkosikazi wam nomntana, my pregnant wife, are safe endlini. But it didn't. He kept on living his life as if he's single. So I noticed that, and so I went to ugqirha. I told, hey doctor, my baby is not kicking in the morning, and she used to cook. It was a girl. She used to kick. My baby was a girl. She used to kick every time when I'm hungry, and every after hour or two, she used to kick. And then the doctor said, maybe you are stressing, but we'll run few tests and then we'll come back to you. So Dr. Get took few tests and found out that I have a high blood, which is caused by stress is too much, and I must stop this, otherwise I'm gonna lose the baby. The reason why the baby was not kicking in the morning is because I stress around those hours, and then during the day and at night I'm relaxed. So that's where the child, she finds time to play, to swing some, kick, and stretch herself and so forth in the afternoon and at night. But in the morning, she doesn't do anything. She don't kick. She don't stretch herself, because she can sense that during those hours in the morning you stress. And the reason why I was stressing, it's because it was the time that my ex-husband used to come at home and then find a way to be in a fight with me after taking a bath and leave me crying in the house. So fine. So I was like, okay, fine. Now, whatever my ex-husband comes and says, I won't answer him. I'll just say, okay, because I don't want to lose this child. Fine. Black is brown. I'll just say, yes, my husband. The table is black. You're right. So that's what I told myself. Okay, whatever he says, I agree with him, and it is right. Like a son. So you notice that whatever he says, I agree. Whatever he argue with me, as I repent, I say, okay, baby, I am so sorry. I will never do it again. Fine. So he was like, no, I'm tired of this girl. Everything I say, it's right, and she doesn't speak back to me. So he was like, are you stupid? Calling me with names, and called his mother. He said he doesn't want to get married with me because I'm so dumb, and I'm cheating on him because I'm putting on makeup, I'm taking care of myself. And then his mother said, no, you found Uzanele, eli lady kwayena. So igama lasemzini wami lathiwa kwathiwa nomalizwa. So yeah, I'm just telling you so that whenever I call this name Alizwa, know that I'm talking about me when I was married. And then Uzanele, it's my name that was given by my father. Yeah. So my mother said, no, Uzanele, Alizwa was like this before you met her. So a makeup is her thing. You can't say she's cheating because of a makeup. She's cheating because of she's dressing nice. By the way, she's pregnant. How can she cheat on you? Which man would want a pregnant woman? So he wanted something that he can say he doesn't want me for, so that he can divorce me properly, and people will say bad, negative things about me, and then they will forgive him, or they won't notice him that he's the one who's cheating. But his mother was like, no, no, my son, she is not cheating. Trust me. So he started to say that I'm not allowed to go out. When I'm going for checkups, he will call one of his drivers to take me from where we stay to the clinic, from the clinic to where we stay. And then I was not allowed to do groceries, like to buy food. He was the one who bought groceries for me, and I was like sitting anything the whole day. When he proposed to me, to my parents, he promised that he won't block my education. Because when he approached me, I was in my gap year, planning to go to school the following year to do a BCom. So at yeah, so he was like, you won't go to school because when you're there, you're going to cheat on me, you're gonna forget about me, you're gonna doubt me, and so forth. So it's like, yo, he said that after he took me from a guy. So I was like, yo, I'm stuck here. So he said that, okay, I told him, hey, I'm tired of sitting here. I don't do groceries. I don't go and buy myself clothes. You're the one who buy me clothes. You're the one who buy groceries. Whenever I want to go for checkups, I always go to one of your drivers. And whenever I want to go home to visit my parents, you always take me home. I don't get time to go alone. So I'm thinking of going to M17 Pangela. Maybe by going to M17, I'll be fresh and fresh when I come back home. He said, oh, pregnant, as a pregnant woman, going to work? No, that won't happen. What do you want and I'll give you. One thing about him, you like Sana, he knew how to spoil me rotten. He took me out for different um hotels. I remember the other day we went to a, what is that, airport, West, somewhere there's a hotel that we went there, and we stayed for 4 nights, 5 days. And then he bought me clothes, Ilanduza Ewe, long wave, because he knew that I love waves, I love makeup. He bought me makeup, he gave me whatever I wanted, just as long as I am at home. And whenever I go home, if I want to do my hair, he'll take me by himself or by one of his drivers to the salon, and then from the salon back home. Like, that was my home. That was my way, life. So now, when I was like 6 months, he stopped buying groceries. Stop buying groceries, stop buying me food, he stopped taking me to checkups, or sending one of his drivers to take me to checkups. He just stopped everything. Mind you, I was staying in that house that we were staying in from 4 weeks after we came from Eastern Cape, staying without a key emnyango till the Richard is 6 months young. I just pull the burglar, close the door, hoping that no one will come in, and the neighborhood was so rough. Trust me when I say rough, because there was gunshots at around 2 every midnight. But God was there. He really helped me, because I don't know how I survived that neighborhood. Yeah. So when I was 6 months pregnant, he stopped buying me food. Mind you, a pregnant woman eats a lot. Stopped buying me food and clothes, and my clothes were getting small because my stomach was raising and raising and raising. So he stopped buying me clothes. So I had to like do a plan of how to wear imbali, because xa pregnant ile nda ingezantsi iyavela, because ukuba inxibe into encinci. So then namacebo man, like if I'm wearing a dress which was a high rise at that time, then I was wearing high rise because I was pregnant. So then it under my stomach, and then ndithathe itop ndiyiyeke and then ndibhinqe phezulu. Some people think that I'm old because the way I was dressing, it was not right, because my clothes were so small. He was supposed to buy me clothes because I was pregnant, and he's the one who made me pregnant. So like, didn't I know from outside? I change out. And then intloko ngiqalisa uba flat. Then ndikayifundela intloko mos professionally, I'm a hairdresser. Ndiyifundele. At that time, then ndikayifundela. So I was like, yo, I don't know how to plait my hair. I don't know how to do myself a cream relaxer. I don't know nothing. And then into zam ziqothelele zirongo, guys. So okay, mandizikhulule, mandikhulula braid ndandiyenze 3 months back. Ndazikhulula, ndazihlamba intloko yam, ndazitsweba ubhabhi, then ndahlala ndithwala okokoko. So yeah, sanikutya kuphelile, akasathengi lo mfana. So I decided to run. I ran there kwasister wam, and then sister wam wathi bana, don't you want to eat something? She knew that I like to eat. She knew that I like to eat, well, like way before I got married. So now I was pregnant, so Nancy get extra. Don't you want to eat? I know you love eating, and most especially now you're pregnant. So I was like, yes, and I said, just give me 4 slices, because remember, I cook once, I have to respect. So she said, girl, I know you, I won't give you 4 slices, I'll give you 8. So I was like, okay, fine. I ate even more than 8 slices. So she noticed that ndiyalamba. She gave me ukutya iskaftin, but acted as if akayazi, wanika like something to toiletry, small of toiletry, sepha, Colgate, and face cloth wayesanda uyithenga. Yeah, yesanda uyithenga isesepakethini yakhe, wandipha nepeyinti wayezithengile. I don't know if she still remember, but she did that for me. And then wathi bana, uzuphinde uze ngamself, come back again tomorrow, please. I said, okay, mntazi. But I was feeling embarrassed by you. I think she found out that I don't have izinto, and I didn't tell her nothing. Hey, umdala, she's older than me, so she knows me. She knows how I act when I'm hurt or when I'm hiding something and when I'm happy. So I became like, thank you, Dad. So you didn't have to give me all of this, but thank you. So on that day, my ex-husband found out, oh, my lips are dry. My lips are dry as always. He found out that I went to my sister's place, which he didn't like that. That made him angry. So he called me. Um, he came to me. I heard that you went out to see your sister. So I said yes. One thing about me, I don't lie. Naba ilinyan, I know it can put me in the biggest trouble ever. I won't lie. I always tell the truth all the time, all the time. Fine. I said to him, yeah, I went to my sister because I was homesick. So she's the only one who stays close. She stays 3 streets away from me. So I said, yeah, so that's why at that time. So I was like, yeah, I needed to see someone from home because I am really homesick and you're no longer taking me home. So he said, why didn't you tell me? I said, I don't want to hurt you because we are fighting lately and I don't want anything that will make us fight. So he said, okay, next time if when I go there, tell me, don't just go. And then I said, okay. Then he said, um, what is the in that plastic? No, babe, it's nothing. And then I said, no, I want to see. Listen, I showed him. Okay, so my sister bought herself this and then she ended up giving it to me because she knows that I love eating. And then he said, okay, fine. What about the face cloth around? How can you do this? How can you be so stupid? How can you embarrass me? People know me as a rich guy. Why don't you come to me and talk to me? And like, I'm your husband, I'm your father, I'm your friend, I'm here for you. I was like, no, I didn't know because we're always fighting. But anyway, I didn't ask for this. She just gave it to me. Then he said, you know what? You're not going anywhere. You're still going to stay here. And as much as I want to, he left the house and locked. I started crying because obviously I was pregnant. A pregnant woman cries a lot. I started crying. It's over. Fine. His mother came, it was his mother to come from work. Usahlala kokwabe back. So his mother came way back. I don't know why you did back. So she decided to knock. Laugh like Nandelo. And these were open. I said, my ex-husband took the keys so I can't open for you. She said, why? I said, we had a few an argument, then he was angry and then he said I won't go out and then he left. So she tried to open for me and then she did. And then she took me to her room, made me food, and she was so angry because she found out that there was no food and she found out that um I've been hiding things behind her. So she said to me, hey, Sanel, Alizwa, I don't know why you're going through this. I don't know honestly, but you're not going to sleep with him. You're going to sleep here with me in this room tonight. I said yes because I was like, yo, thank God you're helping me from this guy. So, so I fell asleep. Okay, I was with him, with my ex-mother-in-law in the room. And then I fell asleep while talking because when you're pregnant, you eat, sleep like a child. So I fell asleep, and then while I was sleeping, I heard him speaking to his mother, saying that I don't want. Her mother was saying, "What you're doing is wrong. You brought Aliza from her home, from her comfortable, respected home to here, to be your wife. Now suddenly you are not taking care of her. Do you know what will happen to you if her father found out about this? Do you know what will happen if her brother, her cousins, brothers, her whole entire family will happen to you?" So he said, "No, ma, I do, and I don't care. I don't want Zanele anymore." I cried because they were in another room, so no one heard me. I cried. I was like, "Oh my gosh, what am I gonna do with this?" So okay, guys, to cut long story short, ndalanto okay, guys. Oh, lala ekulaleni kwami ndaqhuzula. Cha, ngokundileleyo, he took me, my ex-husband, to his room, and then andivuka bandifuna ukuchama. I'm in this room yakhe yethu at that time. Ndifike njani apha? Okay, noba undifunqule because I'm not thick now. I'm thin. I'm not thin now, but I was thinner than now back then. So ndachama, and then I think ndendistressile imessage endayibonayo because ngondichamayo pop out a message from my ex-husband's phone saying, "Baby, I've been waiting for you. You didn't come." And then usave as alarm 2, meaning meaning there is another woman who's alarm 1 there, because this message was saved as alarm 2. I started feeling cramps under my stomach. I was like, "Oh gosh, I'm not okay, what's going on?" So I went to bed. Ndaziva dizzy, and I felt all of that after I read that message. I didn't open it, it was like a pop-up. I went to bed, I tried to calm myself, and then I fell asleep. And while I was falling asleep, I wasn't falling asleep, I was doing seizures. My father is holding me, praying, "Sanele, wake up." And then again, I dozed off. And then when I woke up again, I was in hospital. There was umaching up, and then there was indam all over me, and then my mother and father was sitting somewhere here, and then I looked at them, and then again I fell asleep. When I woke up again, I was alone. So I tried to sit up because I was like, "What am I doing here?" And then the nurse came, "Oh, she's awake," and everyone was rejoicing. I was like, "What's going on? Who am I? What am I doing here?" Yeah, so they called the doctor. The doctor said, "I've lost memoriam, so I'll gain my full memory within 2 years, and I can't, no, I'll start gaining my memory within 6 months, and then I can't conceive for at least 2 years. I must stay without being conceived for 2 years, and I must not stress." And then they gave me pills that I'm going through depression, and then if I'm eating a treatment of depression, I'll be fine within 6 months, and if I don't, this might be worse, and then ndingaya indawo yabantu abagula ngqondo. What? This is too much for me. So I was like, "No, this is too much." And then the doctor said, in order to regain everything fast, I have to read books, magazines. My memory will recover faster, and I must not stress. If something is stressing me, I must write it down or wash dishes. So, fine. So, when my parents came, I said, my first word I said to them, "Who are you and who am I? What am I doing here?" My mother started crying, and my father said, Zanele, your name is Zanele. Your surname is Mzalisi. We are your parents, and you are at the hospital. You are going home soon. So I was like, okay. And then I fell asleep. So when I woke up, almost my whole family was there. My sisters and their husband, my ex-husband, my mother-in-law, and church mates also, they were there. So I was like, oh gosh, I remember you, you see her, right? I remember you were bang bang, and they were like, Bible, we were told that you won't forget. You'll if your brain will recover within 6 months. Like really? I was like, no guys, I don't know. And I said I have a headache. So the doctor said, don't think too much, because you'll have headache more. So I was like, okay, fine. So it wasn't easy not to think, because I'm a human being. I have to think, I have brains to think. That's why I had this headache a lot. So yeah, and I go guy to close my mouth. He took me to Elangapan. There was a very beautiful hotel Elangapan. I forgot the name of that land, but I'm gonna search it, then I'm gonna put it on my screen. It's a Payana. It's a very beautiful place. In Aselwandle, guys, when you wake up, here is Ilanduza, is sliding door, and then Sutringine Ilwandle. He knew that I love nature and beach. So yes, slept out for a week. We bonded and we were like lovey dovey. Fine. So we were like a good power couple goal for like 3 weeks. I forgot to tell you, we are for 3 weeks. Fine. But before that, I was just before that, um I was told that my child that I was pregnant with, she's dead. She passed away. It is because I was stressing. She couldn't make it, and she died while before I came there at the hospital. So she was a stillborn. So I had umtanam on my stomach, and when I went there, she was 2 weeks dead already, but I didn't know. So I asked them to give me my child. I want to see her. So when I saw her, I started to cry. I was like, baby, wake up, baby, wake up. And then they took the baby because they could see that this is not normal. How can I speak to a dead body? And then they sent a social worker. So I went through a social worker every day when I was at the hospital. I was in Tigerberg Hospital in Kitalale, high risk, dangerous, don't know. Yeah, what? I don't remember. That was back then in 2019, guys. That was so long ago. I don't remember properly in which ward. But abantu abangakho right. I was in coma for a day, and then kusuku lwesibini kuthiwa ndathathwa ndafakwa kwindawo nabantu abangakabikho right here. Just imagine. Meaning I was crazy. Yeah. So when I was this the doctor said it's time for me to go home. So on that day, my ex-husband asked my parents to take me somewhere, not knowing he wants to buy me a car. So we went to Belleville, to this garage, and when we went there, big there was this small white car in a red ribbon written congratulations, Zanele, on the paper. I was like, what? Guys, you'll see in my pictures, I was so weak. A big something on my head. Isilambu sukhulu. Amagusha. Awushushu kanjani ke ngalamini. But I'm wrong because I was still going through depression, and I was just um, discharged as bedridden, so I was not right. So I was like, oh my gosh, is this car for me? And I could see the papers. I written my name, Domzanel, next to owner of the vehicle. It was Polo Vivo. I don't know Polo Vivo what, the latest one. Polo, no, it wasn't latest, but it was a Polo Vivo. The owner of the Polo Vivo, Domzanel Mzalis, it's my full name and surname. What? So now I own a car. I can't even drive. I can buy a woman a car when she can't even drive. Tell me how. He bought that car because he knew that it's not my car, it's gonna be his car because he knew that I can't drive and he won't teach me to drive. Because whenever I want him to teach me to drive, he would say, no baby, not now, no baby, I'm busy, no this and that, no. So it was just mine according to Ingwadi Nabandu out there. But when we're together, it's his car. Because I remember I wanted in a number plate written Zanele, CA, my name. And I was like, no, that is expensive. Like, you can buy me in waves at 3.0, 4.0, but you can't buy a number plate and change it to my original name. Like, okay, this is fish. So, inyani laa nto xa ubuka ikhoma and then wavuka everything that happened before and when ukuyikhoma iyabuya as a dream. You think like, you guys, I dreamt about this. Kanti it's not like you dreamt about it. Your brain is starting to remember everything. So that what happened to me. I woke up the other day. I said, hey, I woke up with this dream. You were beating me and I was pregnant. Like I said everything. So he was like, hi baby, maybe that's a dream. You know. So I was like, no, it doesn't feel like a dream though. It felt like this happened. So I kept on dreaming about this up until the last day I heard him speaking to his mother saying he doesn't want me back. So that reminded me him. You remember that day when I was sleeping in your mother's room and you were speaking to your mother and I told him a conversation like in my mind. It was like, what, you remember now? You have gained your memory. I said, not much, but do you remember that day? I said, maybe it depends on what you remember. So I said, I need to go home. He said, why? I said, no, I need to go home. I need to speak to my father. He said, no, you can't speak to your father. You can't tell your father this. And it's like, why? I said, no, because you knew my father. My father doesn't play with his daughters and son. Okay, I said, okay, can I at least call my brother? No, don't call him. I'll buy it and then you'll call when I'm around. For now, I'm going to work and blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. So he came earlier on that day. He bought me a phone, beautiful phone. It was Samsung Galaxy A something. I'll post it here on my screen. I forgot it. So I was like, oh, thank you, baby. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Thank you. So trips, all these trips, and car, cell phone, gifts. He bought me hand watch. It was for me to forget about what she did, but okay, I couldn't forget because I kept on dreaming of what happened in my history before I ended up at the hospital. So now at at home, my family, we have this group where there is my mother, father, we and my siblings, five of us, four girls and one brother. So and my yeah, that's us. We like saving all together. So in that group, we speak whatever we want to speak. Like if you want to have a road trip, if there's probably maybe one of us need help in finance, or maybe one of us has trouble at home with something, maybe someone else can help that person. So that group was made by my other sister for emergency. So we saved that group as Simpraganin. So he didn't, Simpra is my father's nickname, and Nini is my mother's nickname. So it is Simpraganin. We still have it now, that group, ever since 20, ever since 2015. I was still in high school back by then. So he found me chatting with my family. So like he was watching a movie. He loved horror and I didn't love horror. So I was like, I'm not gonna watch his horror movies. I'll just play my movie or one of my feed YouTubers that I like. I'll watch them. So now this time he said, "What are you doing?" I said, I'm on WhatsApp chatting with my family. How come you be on WhatsApp while I'm bonding with you? I said, no, I'm not chatting with friends or something. I'm chatting with my family. There's this emergency. I don't remember what was the emergency, but yeah. So he saw a hat, two hats, as a pop up, but it was coming from this group, Simbrani, this family group. So he didn't know the group is Simbrani. He said, who's Simbra? And why you save this guy as Simbraganin? I said, no man, this is not Simbragan. This is not a guy, it's a group, a family group. I showed him a group icon picture. I said, no, I don't believe you. I said, these are my parents, can't you see the profile picture? He said, no, I don't believe you. One thing about cheating people, if they're cheating, they'll feel that you are also cheating, but you're not cheating. Fine. Like, okay, fine, here, read the chat. I said, no, I'm not gonna read the chat. And then I said, no, read, because you don't believe me, you think that I'm cheating. He took the phone and boom, on the floor, and he wanted to throw on my face, but the paper, and then Yawela on the wall, and the screen was all over the place. And then when he did that, I quickly had a version when he threw the food on me and the food was all over the plate. I said, oh, now I remember. You used to hit me. Wanted to, you even threw me with a plate full of food. I was like, what? What are you talking about? And he was like, talking. And I was like, you know what? I'm tired now. I'm not going to keep quiet. You are not that older than me. You are older than me with like a year or so. We like same age. I'm not gonna keep quiet. You've been abused. You see, now I'm not pregnant, so it's the real me. So whenever he talk, I was back chatting him. No, you can't do this to me. You push me, I push him back, and then it was like that. So since he was the man, he overpowered me. So when I was on the floor, I was like, this is over. And he said, no, it's not over up until I say it's over. He left at night, midnight. He left, it was around 2. He left, I don't know where he went to. And then around 4, he came back. Changed clothes, didn't even take bath and left. So, okay, I woke up now. I cleaned the house. I make sure the dishes are clean. I make sure the bed is clean. And then I took all my belongings. I had my sister's key and her storeroom keys. My sister had a storeroom in her house, so I had her keys and her storeroom. She told me that everything of her house, because she was like, she didn't trust her husband, so she was like, but whenever something happened, always know my password, always know this and this, you see. So I was like, okay, I'm going to my sister's place. So I packed everything and I go to my sister's place. I left my things there, and then I took my small bag. I went back to the house. So I was like, Ngoko, I am leaving this marriage. This is not it. So I waited for him. He came around past 12 during the day, and then he looked at me with an angry face. He said, "What are you waiting for? Go." I was like, this guy didn't know that I'm planning to go out. Why is he saying this? So I was like, hey, bro, without us talking, he said, talking to who? Who are you waiting for? Go. So I took my bag, my small bag, but it was bigger than this. I took it, and then I had a small phone, Tilili, the phone that I was given by my father for emergency. My father, at the when I was married, when I was 6 months married, he was ordained to be a pastor. And way before he was ordained to be a pastor, he had this gift of seeing unseen things. So my father gave me the phone. Utilile said, use this phone, Zanele, when it's emergency. And that phone had a SIM card which had an airtime. So I've never used that airtime. I've never used that phone. It was always on full bars, and it was always switched off because I wasn't using it. So that day I took that phone, switched it on, and then I called my father. Daddy, I am coming. Please leave the keys somewhere where I can find them. I'm coming home. In front of him, in front of my ex-husband. My father, okay. He just said, okay. I took my bag and I said, bye. I left. So that's how I left. And then I never went back to him. I left, and I'm still not going back there. So 2 weeks later, after I left, he didn't go after me and look where is Zanel, or go at my parents' house and say, like, pay respect. Hey, uZanele umkile, umakoti umkile. We don't know where she is, and it's fine. We won't look for her. Blah blah blah. Like, to just give my parents a heads up what's going on. Him and his family, they didn't even bother about that. So 3 weeks later, he engaged his baby mama 3 weeks after I left. And then I found out that they are pregnant. Umntana was sick. And I was like, what? Yeah, guys. This story time is very long. You have been talking and talking. So, guys, I'm gonna stop here. So I've been single. Yeah, that is how I got to be a divorcee at the 24 age. At the 24 years of age. Yeah, if there are questions that you want to ask me, or something that I didn't clarify properly, or whatever in your mind, comment on the comment section. And yeah, please like, please follow by clicking subscribe button. Please, guys, like my videos. Please, if you are watching this video and you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Anyway, so we've came to the end of my video, end of my story time. Yeah, guys, so from me to you is to say, don't get into marriage quickly. That's all I can say. Don't, that's all. And trust your guts, because my guts told me from the beginning that this is not my man and blah blah blah, but I didn't listen, and look where I am. So guys, for now is bye, and see you in another video. Oh gosh, it's 5:03 and I said to sleep. I'm working tomorrow. But anyway, this was fun to speak with you. As you can see, I'm crying. I'm very happy. I'm happy because I went through the counseling. I finished my treatment. I've moved on. Like, see, I don't even think about him. Jeez, he's not my life, obviously. So yeah. So for now, it's bye and see you in another.